What is up, everybody? I'm waiting for everybody to get into this chat, so let's get in here as soon as we can. This one is going to be a nice video. I'm going to give you guys about a good 2 minutes. I'll be back shortly. Give me 1 second. Be right back. All right, everybody. So, sorry I got a little cold, but today's video is going to be about the credit score breakdown. So if you're in the chat, I see one person's in here now. So if you're in here, let's get in here as quickly as we can. I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes to do so. So let's get in here. And if you're in here, you can just let me know by sending me a chat. Today's going to be the credit score breakdown. I want to talk about the credit score chart and all that good stuff. I know it is kind of early on Sunday. Everybody's probably out right now, but we can get people in here, and that's perfect. If you are starting this video, you're looking on like a pre-record, I would say, kind of based off of everybody that's kind of coming in, when nobody's in here, actually people just left, I'm going to give it about 5 minutes. If it doesn't work in 5 minutes, then I'll kind of just cut off short. But, we're going to definitely try to get some people in here as quickly as we can and start the credit score breakdown process. And we're going to be using this chart right here. All right, so I'm excited to get this video started. All right, everybody, we're going to give you another 3 minutes to get in here. Again, today's topic is going to be about the Fico Score. Sean, welcome into the chat. It's kind of slow today. It took 3 minutes, but thanks for coming into the live stream. I'm guessing it's Sunday, and it's pretty much nice weather, so everybody's out enjoying time with their family. So, welcome into the chat, Sean. How you doing? Again, everybody, we're going to give you like another 2 or 3 minutes. This is today's topic. I want to get into this right here. I think this is a pretty decent topic to talk about for people who don't really know much about it or need a refresher or just have questions in general about the whole process. So I'm going to give everybody another like 2 or 3 minutes to get in here. So far, we only got 2 people in here, but I get it. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the weekend. So I understand. I'm going to give everybody another 2 minutes to get into this. If you are in here, if you're in the live stream, just say hi or something so I can greet you appropriately and to see who's actually coming into the chat at this point pretty much. So just let me know who's in here. I'm going to try to get everybody in here as quickly as possible. All right, so I'm gonna give everybody another minute, and then I'm getting in here. There's only 2 people in here. That is very strange. 2 people. But if you're in here, thanks for coming in. All right, so we're almost at the 5-minute mark pretty much. So another like 30 seconds and we should be good. I don't know. I'm guessing because it's Sunday. Unless, you know, I'm just not liked anymore, but I don't think that's the reason. So, very small audience, but it's a Sunday. You know, the weekend is nice outside. Well, I know in Philly right now it's pretty nice. What is it? 55? Give her credit. Well, Nicole, thanks for coming into the channel. It's almost 60 degrees. So, I mean, I will be outside too. I'm actually going to be outside after this video, so I get it. Daniel, thanks for coming into the channel. All right, 30 more seconds. I want to get at least, okay, 5 people in here. If you're watching this video, though, give me a thumbs up. It can be 1 person in here. It could be 10 people. It could be 1,000 people. I'm still going to go on with the program. So 30 more seconds, and that's pretty much it as far as getting people in here. Right. Oh, wow. So, yeah, it's going to go from 50 to 20. Yeah, that's a big difference. So I understand. Okay. So, is anybody familiar with this chart? I'm pretty sure everybody is. If you have any questions about it, let me know. But I wanted to really talk about the Fico Score chart. This is courtesy. I got this offline from myfico.com. I didn't want to steal anybody's work, so I had to put it down there, even though my handwriting is pretty bad. I got this off of myfico.com. But this is the Fico Score, and this is how we are graded, all of us, on a daily basis when it comes to a credit score. So pretty much the first thing I want to talk about, and probably the biggest one, is right here, and it is payment history. Payment history is a big one. Does anybody have any questions about payment history or anything like that? Pretty much payment history is how well you pay your payments. Do you pay your payments on time? Even if you miss a payment by more than 30 days on the first attempt, on the first try, regrettably, it's going to be a pretty bad, it's not going to do too good on your credit score. It's going to actually put you down big time. What did Nicole say? It's 59 right here. Well, see, 59 is kind of cold for LA, right? Or is that pretty? So 70, that's awesome. You know, I wish I was over there in the high of 70 degrees. That's pretty nice. But yeah, the first one, 35% is payment history. This one is probably the biggest one. It actually is the biggest one, so we're going to go by order of how big they are. But 35%, again, of course, the biggest one. You just want to make sure that you are making your payments on time, every time. And a good tip for that is auto pay, so you never forget to make a payment. I set mine up to always pay. I personally pay all of mine in full, but I have my auto pay set up for the minimum payment. 80 degrees. Wow. Wow. So, again, set it up for auto pay at the minimum, so you're at least paying the minimum. And once you see that has come out of your account, you'll kind of just be like, okay, I'm going to pay the rest of it, if possible. Pay it in full. But yes, this is the most important thing. And if you miss one payment, your credit score will definitely be affected in a big way. It kind of sucks that it's like that, but it's pretty much what it is. The second one is going to be amounts owed. And another word for amounts owed is what we see all the time. I'm going to put it in here for you. That's kind of like a basic term, but what they call it really is credit utilization. My handwriting is sloppy, but credit utilization is what that is. So, and it's funny, it says 30%, but typically a lot of experts always say don't have more than 30% of your, pretty much all of your balances. So let's say if you have $10,000 total of credit through all of your accounts, you don't want to have more than $3,000 at a time on those, all those credit cards. 30% is pretty good, it's pretty standard. But as time goes on, Nina, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, Nina. I agree, payment is crucial, and paying your cards in full at the end of the month the best way. Yes, I agree 100%, Daniel. And again, like I said, minimum payment if you can, but always try to pay it in full. So that's the first one. Again, the second one, credit utilization. don't have more than 30% at a time. So again, if you have $10,000, don't have more than $3,000 in total. But what I will say is, as time goes on, just like how the high school diploma was, considered really good back in the day, and then a associate's degree was considered really good, and then it's a bachelor's, then it's a master's, and then doctor, all that stuff, right? So as time goes on, I think things advance, people advance, we as a human race, we advance, right? So me personally, I say no more than 10 to 20%. I'm always trying to be better than the normal or what the standard is. So same thing for you guys. I want you guys to be better than what the normal or standard is, if possible. 8.9, that's awesome. So you're even under 10%, which I think that's really awesome. The lower you can get to zero, even if you can have it at zero, the better. So again, my personal recommendation is anywhere between 10 and 20%. As you see, Nina just said she keeps it at 8.9, so she keeps it at pretty much like 8 to 9%, which is pretty awesome. Yes, it is really good to have the balances spread out. Let me see. It's really good to have them all spread out. You don't want to have one card maxed out. A maxed out card is not too good. The only thing I think that really comes from a maxed out card, but I don't even think this is the best way to do about it. Most companies, if they see that you're maxed out, they want you to keep spending, right? So they're going to keep increasing your credit limit. I've heard of that. Like people max out their card, so credit card companies go ahead and increase their limit. Which, if that's what they wanted, if they want a credit limit increase, there's probably better ways to go about it. But people do that as well, which, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best thing to do. But yeah, you're right 100%, Nicole. It's always good to have things spread out for a couple reasons. If you're getting rewards, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So you have a bunch of different things going on with Amex or Chase or Discover. So that's a good reason. And then also a good reason, a maxed out credit card is never good in the looks of the Fico Score. It's never good. A maxed out card is not good. All right. So that's number 2. And then the next 3 are kind of on the lower side, but the first one, the third most important one, is right over here, and this is the length of your credit history. And this is why it's important to not have your credit cards closed out. It is really important, like a lot of other YouTubers say. Like I know Sebi talks about it all the time, and he actually gives options, and I agree with him 100%. Downgrading your cards are probably crucial if you can. Now I get a lot of questions like, what if the card is just really bad? I'm getting charged fees out of, left and right field, and it's just not doing too well. Under that circumstance, I get it, and I would recommend, again, trying to downgrade. But if you really can't downgrade, close it, but don't wait. Close it as soon as possible. If you know you're going to have to close the card at the end of the day, if you know you're just going to have to, you cannot downgrade. If you know you have to close the card, do not wait until even tomorrow. Each day is crucial. The longer you wait to close a card, the longer it's going to build your history, right? Because you're 15% credit history, right? You want to make sure you close it as soon as possible. Don't wait a year. Don't wait 6 months. Don't wait 2 years. Don't wait 10 years. If you wait all that time, when you close that credit card out, all that history that you had is gone. And you're going to see a big effect negatively on your credit score. So if you know you have to close the card and it's just no other option, you cannot downgrade. Or if you downgrade, you're still not going to be satisfied, close it. But definitely close it as soon as you can. Just don't wait around. Again, I don't recommend closing, but if there are some options, there are some times where you just have to have the card closed. Okay, so that's 15%, the length of credit history. Now here are the 2 right here that are kind of equal. So we're going to talk about the one at the top first. New credit. New credit, in other words, is credit inquiries or credit inquiries. That's another word for it. So how often are you applying for credit cards? How much new credit do you have? If you're applying for a lot of credit cards at one point in time, like I know I got a question about pointers. He got about 50 something cards within about a couple years. Let me pause. Okay. So somebody retracted the message, so it's all good. But yeah, he got 50 something cards in about 2 years between him and his wife, personal business. It's only affecting 10% of his credit score, so it's not a big effect. But it definitely, again, it still has an effect on it, right? So 10% new credit, aka credit inquiries, hard pulls, not soft. We're only talking hard. So let me put that there. Hard pulls only. When you have companies like American Express who um, pretty much do soft pulls, that's perfect because it's not really doing a ding on your score. 10% is new credit. So again, that's inquiries, that's new credit cards showing up on your credit report, etc. Let's see, let's get back into the chat. My utilization is 5% between 4 cards, but I have 1 card that is maxed. I'm applying for more cards with that bank. See the specific card, and that's maxed out. I'm sure they will see most definitely that you have a card that's maxed out, but they're going to see both, like Nina just said. They're going to definitely see both. But if your credit history is, credit history and credit score is saying, okay, well, he does have a maxed out card, but he does this. Or he does have a maxed out, card, but he also does this. They're going to take a lot of things into consideration. But they're definitely going to see the maxed out card for sure. They're going to see the balances. It may have an effect on how much they give to you or something like that. But again, if you can try to pay that off as much as you can, then, you have a better chance of, one, you have a better credit score. But then two, you have a better chance of being approved for whatever bank you're talking about. I know a couple of banks are really sticklers like Chase on giving high limits and things like that to people. But you should be fine as long as you're, like you said, you have 5% utilization between 4 cards, which is pretty good. Now, if that was a different situation where you had 40% or 30% between 4 cards, or maybe 50% between 4 cards, then that'd be a different story. But I think you're fine. The last one is credit mix. And I think credit mix is something that people seem to forget. So credit mix is not the different companies you have, like Chase, Discover, Amex. Your credit mix is going to be the different types of credit you have. That's why you have people out here, let's say like celebrities, who have all the money in the world. Like, remember, what's that song that Drake had? He said he had 2 mortgages, 30 million in total. All right, I'm sure his credit is awesome, right? And I'm sure he has a lot of money, but he still has a mortgage. I'm sure he has credit. I'm sure he has credit cards. He has mortgage. He probably has like car loan, whatever. I'm not sure, but all I'm saying is having a mix of credit is really crucial. They like to see, one, that you have multiple credit cards or multiple lines of credit, but at the same time, you also have different types. So mortgage, home equity line of credit, personal loan, credit cards, etc. You don't have to have all of those because I don't have all of those. I have my car loan that I can pay at any time, but I decide to kind of pay more than the minimum, but I still have it there to, one, build my credit history, because I'm still young. My age is only about 5 years as far as credit age-wise. So, and I have credit cards. I have about 10 of those. I did have a personal loan that I've had for maybe like 6 months, and I had the money, but I paid it off in about 6 months. I had the money. I just took the money out just to do it, to build my credit, and I just paid it off in about 6 months, just because. And let's see what you just said. The wealthy use credit as lev. Yes, exactly. A lot of them do. They use home equity line of credits. I notice a lot of people get like mortgages and HELOCs and personal loans, and they'll go out there and they'll take a risk on themselves, knowing that they're going to make that back anyway. So, for example, if somebody gets a Airbnb, what do you call it, like a condo or something, and they take out what, $30,000 to $40,000, they're never going to make it back. They're just using that money that they can probably pay off at any given time to build their credit report and also make themselves even more wealthy. So I agree 100%. Everybody who's joining in now, because I see the live stream is getting more and more, I always like to use the pre-approval, pre-qualified tool, see what card I would be approved for before I apply. They're not always. I agree. They're not 100% accurate, Nicole, but they're pretty accurate. Not 100%, but they're very accurate. And like American Express always, I haven't had an issue so far with them. If you're pre-approved for this card or pre-qualified, which there are two different things. Pre-qualified, you meet the criteria based off of kind of like a quick observation type situation. Pre-approved is like we kind of already did like a hard inquiry. You're already pre-approved for this amount. So pre-approved is more like you're already in the situation. You're good. Pre-qualified, you can always be declined or not. Never had to chase pre-approval work for me. And then there are situations where you're not pre-qualified. Like I was not pre-qualified for the. There was a card I wasn't pre-qualified for because it was still fairly. I think it was the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Amex Gold. the Amex Premier Rewards Gold. One of those cards I was not pre-qualified for. No, I'm sorry. It was the Amex Platinum that I wasn't pre-qualified for. But after like a year or so of having the Amex Gold card, I applied for the Amex Platinum card, and I got it. I wasn't pre-qualified, but they still gave it to me. So there's even chances where you're not pre-qualified, and they go ahead and you do the application, and you're approved. So it goes both ways. But again, this is the chart that everybody goes off of. Again, so I don't get in trouble by anybody. This is courtesy of myfico.com. This is where I printed this off of. I wanted to have this for my visual learners to see some numbers, and also my visual people like myself who like to see like a little chart or a graph. 35%, most important, is your payment history. Make sure you are paying all of your payments on time. If you don't want to pay the minimum, again, just set it up for minimum for auto pay. If you don't want to pay the minimum, that's fine. But if you forget to pay the balance in full, or however you pay it, you'll at least have the minimum paid each month. Has the Chase pre-approval worked for you? Yes, the Chase pre-approval worked. They actually sent me the Chase Sapphire Preferred card in the mail. So I mean, that was kind of already telling me that I was pre-qualified based upon inquiries and things of that nature they did as far as soft inquiries. So in that instance, yes, it worked for me. I haven't actually did the Chase pre-qualified like button because I was pretty fine with that. Whenever I've been pre-approved, it's worked. Yeah. Whenever I'm like pre-qualified, it's perfectly fine. The second one is your amounts owed. Again, this is also known as credit utilization, right? Credit utilization. So amounts owed, aka credit utilization. The experts say 30%. I say, and again, you don't got to call me an expert, but it's done me very well. It's also done Nina very well. She's done 10 to 20%. So I'm saying do 10 to 20% of your credit utilization and you should be perfectly fine. But again, if you're doing 30%, you're not doing bad either, because that is recommended. And then we also have 15% with the length of credit, aka your credit history. Make sure that is good as well. Try not to close cards if you can. If you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve card that you just want it for the sign-up bonus, definitely after that first year, because they can retract your bonus if you close it out too soon, go ahead and downgrade to the Chase Freedom or Chase Freedom Unlimited. And they're both $0 annual fee credit cards, but you're not losing your credit history at all. If you're closing out cards, do that. Now, if you have to close out a card, again, like I said, if it is just not working for you at all, you're just not happy with the company, you want to close it sooner than later. The longer you hold off, the worse effect it will have on your credit report. These two right here go together. They're both kind of equal as far as effect on your credit score. We have the credit mix, which, we got new credit up here. That is also known as your credit inquiries, and also new accounts have been reported onto your credit account, okay? So, if your score drops, you're adding a new account. How long is the recovery? The recovery, when you apply for a new card, and again, it depends on how much you're doing. It's no set number. But if you are applying for a credit card, I would say the recovery, typically for me, it's about 3 to 6 months. I mean, maybe even sooner than that. It's not a big effect on you unless you are doing so many, like the points pointers guy. And again, I'm sure his credit is awesome, but 50 in 1 year is a lot. So again, it's only 10% of your score, but you'll definitely take longer to recover if you're applying for a lot of cards like that. If you're somebody who only applies for maybe 2 or 3 a year, you can recover within a few months, maybe 6 months. It really depends on your credit score, but it's not going to be a long journey to kind of get that back. As far as credit mix, I hear 3 revolving and 1 and 2 installment accounts is best at least. What do you think? One trick is to lower your credit utilization. Yes, one trick is to lower your credit limit or utilization before you cancel a card or transfer. Okay, so Nina, let me answer your question first. So as far as credit mix, I hear revolving and 1 and 2 installment accounts. Okay, so you're talking about a fixed payment like a personal loan. The installments are pretty much they're fixed. And then you also have your revolving credit, like a credit card. I say personally, because I had a personal loan, I would say maybe one or two installments. Again, I wouldn't really recommend it if you don't really need to. One or two installments is perfectly fine because I only have about, let me see, what do I have right now? I just have one, and that's that's the car loan. So the personal loan or car loan, if you want to call it that I can pay off at any given time. But and what I'm going to do right now, I'm actually going to give her credit a moderator because she is answering a lot of questions for me right now, and her advice is really awesome. So if I'm missing questions, like I'm sorry, Julian, I'm talking, then give her credit is way more than qualified to answer those questions. Yeah, one or two installments, maybe 5 to 6. It's really up to you. Revolving credits, like again, a home equity line of credit is revolving because it is once you pay it down. Once you pay it down, you still have that for a certain term. Credit cards are more like, again, revolving as well. So you pay it down, you have that balance over and over and over. I would say maybe a good Credit Karma is a good tool if you use it. They say between like 5 to 9 credit cards or 5 to 9 accounts is really good. And they could be a mixture of however many you want. My thing is I don't want you guys to be dishing out more money than you have to. So again, I would have more credit cards and I would have more personal loans. Again, one or two installments just to have it. And again, also having a good 5 to 6. Some people even say 4. It really depends on you and what you like. So I would say total, maybe about 5 to 9 accounts total. And it can be whatever you want. And then the last one we have here is credit mix, like we just talked about. Credit mix, just make sure you're having, again, not just credit cards, but diversify your portfolio, just like anything else. If you have investments, you want to have stocks, bonds, etc. This one as well. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. It's a good reason. There's a couple of good reasons. It's good for your FICO score because again, they like to see that you can handle more than one type of account. But it's also good if you have credit cards and you have rewards. Again, as far as mixing up your credit cards, you want to have not all your eggs in one basket. So if you have Chase points, you want to have Amex points, Discover, etc. But this is more so just talking about having different types of credit. So that is pretty much what this chart is. If anybody has any questions about it, I am here to answer them for another like good 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We can have a conversation in the chat. But this was today's topic. I think this was really good to kind of talk about. And that's pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about. So at this point, now it's just kind of just a free-for-all. I'm here to answer any questions that you guys may have. So let me kind of just scroll up and see if I missed any. Amex Blue every day. So they see the increase that I listen on whichever credit you're on. Your score dropped 119 points today. Did it come from the credit card? Did they tell you why it dropped? Well, I'll let give her credit, handle it. But yeah, I hope we can get that back up as soon as possible. Because then that would have had me have an anxiety attack. So, wow, that's a lot. It's tough. Have you been applying for a lot of cards today? Really, 119 points off of applying for a card. Wow. So, what do you use to kind of like track your do you use Credit Sesame, Credit Karma? Do you kind of use maybe like your own personal, with maybe like, let me see, I do have a lot of past inquiries. 119 points, so that's a lot. But again, if they're just off of inquiries, there are like no late payments or no derogatory mark, anything crazy like that. If there's nothing like that, collection accounts, something else have had to happen because I applied for 3 cards and I dropped 48. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something else. 119 points is a lot. There had to be something else. And again, I don't know. And if you're saying that there's nothing else to happen, then that's fine. I would definitely, though, look over to figure out what's going on because 119 points is a lot for just a credit card application or just inquiries in general. That's a lot. Lexington Law. Okay. I'm torn with the next credit card to apply for. I'm at 324. I'm way more attracted to Amex as far as perks. That's right. But compared to Chase, I have to want to diversify because of points. But Chase seems to be lacking. What cards are you kind of torn between getting? Do you know what cards that you're looking at? Do you know why on Credit Karma shows my age of accounts are 5 months, but my Experian credit report says my age of history is 1 or 2 years old? Are they began? That is kind of how mine is with. That's how mine is with Credit Karma. I'm actually going to log on to mine now. Let me just see so I can try to help you out better with that question. Because there's one that's telling me my age is this, and one, so I'm going to log on to see what my age is, and I'll answer your question for you. Let's see. So this is where I'm standing at right now, as far as credit. And again, it's hard. Like, I'm almost there. Like, I was almost there. This is where I'm at right now. I was almost there, but I guess something dropped. I don't know, like 1 point. I was almost at 8. I was so close to 8. But let me just see as to why the credit scores are differently. So what is my age right now? What other one are you using? Let me go back up to the question. Do you know why Credit Karma shows for 5 months, but my Experian report says? Have you recently closed anything, Sean? Or have you? Is it new or something like that? Because I think maybe it's not showing all of your accounts. Mine right now is showing 2 years of age, which I know my longest account that I've had is 3 years. It's only 3 years? Yeah, it says 3 years. Yep. I've had it for 3 years. No, that was my second credit card. Let's see what the other one is. 5 years. Okay. Did you close something up? Did you close anything? Did you get something new? Or is Credit Karma not showing? Oh, you just answered your own question. Let me see. I'm wondering if it's because Credit Karma is only showing my current accounts and Experian. Yes. So Credit Karma, to be honest with you, is giving you the more. I would go with the one that's always the lower one, just so I'm never. I don't want to be negative, but I always want to go with the one that's the lower one, just so I know where I'm at the very lowest I'm at versus I'm all the way up there, and then I'm surprised when my score is not what it is. I would say Credit Karma is really good at giving you the most accurate, up-to-date information. Again, Credit Karma is not 100% accurate because it doesn't use all 3 credit bureaus, but I would say Credit Karma is telling you, well, look, if you closed these accounts, then they don't count anymore, which they really don't really count anymore. Will this drop my score? Let me see. I want the gold, Amex, and platinum ultimately since I'm under 324. Everybody keeps saying get the Chase SCP. 1 second. So, Nina, when it comes to you, if you know you want to get Chase and Amex, I mean, it's really up to you. I'm personally an Amex person. If you're okay with playing with fire, like if, what's my guy's name? It's somebody that always comes in here, and he doesn't like Chase Amex because of the travel protection that we don't get, like if the flight's delayed or canceled or something crazy like that. I'm perfectly fine with playing with fire, because most of the time, like if it's something wrong, maybe like the airline or something like that, something happened with the airline, they'll put you in a hotel and stuff like that. I just like Amex's reward system better. I think the customer service is a little better, to be honest with you. And most of my cards are Amex cards. I got both the gold and the platinum card. But if you know ultimately you want the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve and you're at 324, I would say get the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve, whichever one. But if you're under 420, then at that point you'll be at 424, right? So then you got one more, and you can get maybe the Chase. Then you can get Amex. You can get both of them if you want. You can get the Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum, and it won't affect you. If you know you want to get Chase soon, just get it out the way now. Then get Amex. I mean, Amex not going nowhere. Chase not going nowhere. But if you know you want Chase and you're going to be at 524, just go ahead and get it out the way. Get out all your little Chase love that you want to get out. and then go somewhere else. Go to Amex or something like that. Yes, if you haven't gotten access to your like Nicole's saying, if you haven't looked at your free credit report just this year yet, I definitely would, because again, 119 is it's something different. Nautica Boy 25, thanks for coming into the chat. Um, if you missed it, well, you did miss it, but I get it. It's a nice Sunday. This is what we were talking about right here. We were talking about the FICO score breakdown. So you can always replay it, but I'll put it up for you. I was just pretty much going over the important factors and what they meant and all that good stuff. Chase is pressuring people to buy into their system, but they're also avoiding the credit card churning, which is, they don't like that. A lot of companies are cracking down on it because these companies are spending millions of dollars a year on these rewards that they're giving to us for us to use. So the churning process is just, and the bigger it gets, and as time goes on, it'll be even more strict. I'm just getting into the credit world. My credit's pretty jacked up. I got my first secure credit card last October. Okay, cool. And everybody, if you haven't followed or subscribed to give her credit, she is actually a moderator on the channel. She's awesome. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to her channel. She does amazing videos. She also owns her own businesses as well. So definitely give her a follow. I'm sure she has her Instagram information as well as far as her businesses. And Nicole, if you don't, definitely please do so, because now is the time. We have a higher audience than we did. She's really awesome. So thanks, for even joining the channel, Nicole. Her name on here is Give Her Credit. She has, again, businesses. She also has a YouTube channel. She's an amazing person, so definitely tune into her stuff. Credit Karma shows experience score, and my FICO shows, hold on, what? Okay. Credit score shows X score, and my FICO shows Y. Is it solely because of the different scoring models? Also a big gap. Credit Karma shows X score, and my FICO shows Y. Can you explain that to me again, Jay Jenkins? Of course, Nicole. No, of course. Anytime. Thank you for helping out. I don't know when they plan on rolling out the new FICO plan. I didn't even know there was a new. Let me just check it out. We got a new FICO plan coming out. Let me see. Are you talking about the FICO score that is including into the Ultra FICO score situation? Is that what you're talking about? If so, no, I don't know anything. I don't know anything as far as when it's coming out. Show 720. Okay. X and Y, like you're just putting in the numbers. Okay, got you. The big gap. I think this is how they grade. To be honest with you, 690, 720. That's about 30-point difference. Let me check, because some of my credit reports do the same thing, and again, they're not accurate 100%. And I mean that's 30 points, so that's pretty big. It's not the biggest gap I've seen. So for example, let me log into my Wells Fargo. Here we got, yes, sub to Give Her Credit. She is awesome. And if you're liking this live chat and if you're getting some information, just give it a thumbs up. Definitely, I would greatly appreciate it. So like I showed you, the Wells Fargo score is showing a 782, right? But then Credit Karma is showing, that's my dog back there acting crazy. And my Credit Karma is showing a 772. That's just how they calculate. And each score is just kind of giving you a roundabout, but you'll never know what your score really is until you actually apply for a credit card. And depending on what the hard inquiry pull is, then that is pretty much what your score is. Let's see. So I'm trying to actually read the comments on here too, to see what's going on. Ultra FICO for people with low credit history. Wait a second, see. And you have to actually approve of that actually too. So it's just not going to happen. You have to actually kind of like give, Ultra FICO permission to actually, use your checkings information to have that happen. Walt, if you could create a credit card, what would be the benefits? That's a good question. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna actually write it down real quick. Let me see. I gotta make sure I got all the benefits. Okay, so if you could create a credit card, what would the benefits perks be? Now, do I get to pick and choose like what credit card company it has, like Chase or Amex or Discover? Do I get to do that too? Because if so, I'll create a credit card. I have 2 closed accounts. I'm trying to figure out why it's still on my report if it's closed. Let's see. Good afternoon. I have 2 closed accounts. How long ago did you close them? Nina, I'm actually figuring it out for you right now. That was a good question. I'm actually going to write it down and figure it out. Now, when you say it's closed, it's like closed by decision, right? Like it's not closed by anything else. And it's been closed out for about 2 years based off of decision. Because depending on how it is, if it's closed out as far as closed, then it's going to stand there for a while. Let me see. I believe it's there. It is 5 to 7 years. 7 years. Okay. They were closed by the credit card company. I'm guessing maybe you weren't using them or something like that. Which again, if you're not using your credit cards, I tell everybody to have at least an automatic recurring transaction every month. Hulu, Netflix, whatever you have. Because if you don't use your credit cards, then the credit card company will close it out, or they'll close out for other reasons. But again, like Nicole and Nina just said, 7 years. 7 years is when they'll fall off of the account. They're still going to be there for about a good 7 years. Okay, let me actually get the question that you have for me as far as what card would I have and what bonuses would we have. I'm going to do it in the eyes of a consumer because this is what I apologize about that. Somebody is trying to FaceTime me right now. We're not doing that. I apologize. Somebody was trying to do something and we kind of lost. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Amex, we're going to have a 100,000 point sign up bonus because that's what I wish we had still. So that's going to be it. Let's see what kind of perks we're going to have. I'm going to try to, let me see. We're going to definitely have that. We're going to have, okay. We're going to have that as well. So far, I want, again, 100,000 sign up bonus for points. Let me see. I know this is kind of like just me just messing around, but I'm answering the question. Points. Okay, travel. 3. Right? This is what I would have if I had a credit card. So again, right now what I'm doing is I'm answering Nina's question, and this is really awesome. And then I'm going to tell you about one other thing. One other thing I'm going to start doing for you guys, actually on a different platform. But to answer Nina's question, if I had a choice, it would be with American Express because I love Amex and their service. It would be a 100,000 point sign up bonus if you spent, let's say, 4,000 in the first 3 months or whatever. That's pretty fair. It would definitely have the trip delay / travel delay insurance, all that good stuff, roadside assistance, etc. Also, I love my Hilton status as far as gold, the Marriott gold status, and all that good stuff. So it's definitely going to have that. What would you dream? Yeah, definitely. I think we should definitely start that up, Nicole. But one thing that no card has, unless it's like the Centurion card, no card has airline status. I want airline status so bad, but you literally have to fly to get airline status. Now, for those who don't know what airline status is, so let's say, for example, like right now with American Airlines, I have left 63,000 miles. Let me see. I have 63,000 miles, and I fly on miles all the time, right? But I don't fly enough to have any type of status. So American Airlines has gold, platinum, and executive. And with those things, you get different perks and benefits, like maybe upgrades to first class, or upgrades an extra class, or how if you get a credit card, you'll get preferred boarding, but preferred is not priority. I would love to get on the plane first, priority boarding. And Shamrock, I'm glad you're here. So Nina asked me a question on what would I want from a credit card if I had a choice, and I made my own credit card. So far, since I know you like Amex, but you like Chase for one other reason, it would be American Express. It would have a 100,000 point sign up bonus if you spent 4,000 in the first 3 months. It will have the trip delay insurance, Shamrock. I promise you, if I had a choice, American Express would have the trip delay. We'd also have Hilton status, Marriott status for gold. We'd also have airline status for your choice, either of Delta or American Airlines or United. So you get to pick which one you want, which is pretty awesome. 5 points on flights, 3 points on restaurants, 2 points on groceries, and $1 on everything else. I think that's pretty fair. Annual fee wise, I would say the annual fee can be like $5.50. I think with all those perks that you're getting as far as even the airline status, Hilton status, I would say $5.50 is okay. Or maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm okay. Let's say $4.50. I'm pro consumer. $4.50 annual fee. Okay, that's gonna be the annual fee right there, $4.50. So I think that's cool. So if anybody works for Amex, if anybody knows Amex, let them know we need that card ASAP. This may shock you, but I'm actually happy there isn't a card that gives you automatic status. Come here. My little guy is acting up today. This is my little Chihuahua. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. You want to keep barking and everything? You want to be seen? Say hi to everybody. Just showing off. So, I'm actually happy. Okay, but you know what, Shamrock? I agree. Because if you're somebody who really works hard to get airline status, I agree that you don't want somebody who's just going to pay and get the same thing you did that you had to work for. I agree. And that there'd never be a spot. I agree. But then, a lot of people don't want to pay $5.50 for an annual fee. So that's why I'm saying, if we had an annual fee for like $550, I think that would kind of cut the majority, for half of the population. Because some people don't like paying, that much money for a credit card. So I think, you make the annual fee high enough to kind of weigh it out. And then I guess that'll kind of keep people down from getting the card. But I want people to get the card. So, I don't know. It has its pros and its cons. It has its pros and its cons. I definitely still want the Uber credits. I definitely still want the travel credits. But I want them to be done in this instance and in this way. You can use them however you want to. You can use all 200 now. You can do increments of however much you want to do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have a restriction on it. And you can use it for gift cards. Because now I'm kind of sad. Most of my travel is with American Airlines. So now I can no longer do the gift card with American Airlines because American Airlines coded their gift cards differently, so that's kind of a bummer. Now if I fly American and I choose American next year, I have to use it for travel, incidentals, or like baggage fees. But luckily, what I do every January 1st is I get the gift card as soon as possible. So I was able to get the American Airlines gift cards this year with Amex Platinum before they decided to switch the coding or whatever. So I still I got two more gift cards right here that I can use. Um, that's pretty much it. Which lets me know that folks don't mind paying an increased fee. They are very crowded, but I think what makes them even more crowded is the family and friends, which I don't. I love having people come with me to the Centurion lounges because they get to kind of feel VIP-ish, and one, it'll help my referrals out because then people want to apply for the card. But two, it makes travel so much easier. So I do feel like you should have at least one or two people able to come in with you. But I think at the same time, Amex needs to make more lounges. They only have about 7 or 8 so far. I think they have to make more lounges, a lot more lounges. Okay, so I wanted to actually go over this with you guys. A lot of YouTubers have a really big platform. Let me see what they cannot do. What they can do is not make the airline say automatic. Maybe they have this in a certain amount you fly. I like that. Maybe like if you fly maybe 10 times in a year, like round trip 10 times or something like that. I'm guessing, okay, 20 times. So, each leg is a trip. Then that would make sense. What chase card would you get that's not the CSP or CSR? I would get the Hyatt. Are you talking about like an off-brand, so kind of like a hotel? Because I want that World of Hyatt card. I'm still thinking about it. The World of Hyatt card, definitely. I have the Chase Freedom card, which gives you the categories. So those would be the cards that I would get. What about you? What would you get? The World of Hyatt card is my favorite so far. But like I was saying, a lot of YouTubers are really big on YouTube. But only if they came over to different platforms, they would be even bigger. Because a lot of my friends, they aren't subscribed to me simply because they don't have a YouTube account and they don't want to make one. They just want to watch videos on YouTube and get off the platform and go to their other platforms that they're more comfortable with. So what I'm going to do is try to build up my Instagram platform for 2 reasons. One, to connect to a different type of user, because you got to have more than, you got to have all your eggs in more than one basket. And to kind of bring people who are on Instagram over to YouTube. So I'm going to be doing for the next 40 weeks. Now, I don't know when I'm going to start. I know it's going to be very soon, though. For the next 40 weeks, I actually have it right here in my notepad. I'm going to be doing 20 tips. So those 20 tips is going to be maybe a good 1-minute video or something like that, or maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. And what I'm going to be doing is, it's going to be called Free Tip Friday. And Free Tip Friday is pretty much what it is. It's going to be a quick video giving you a tip. And I got some tips right here already, ready to go. So I'm really excited. I actually have all my 20. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it out into 40 weeks. I'm going to do one every other week. I'm going to put my Instagram in here right now for 2 reasons. One, so you guys can get on board. I know a lot of you don't have me on Instagram. And 2, so you guys can interact and tell me if you like these tips and if you have any suggestions. So I'm actually going to put my Instagram information right down here right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm going on here. Let's see. And if you follow me, or if you're going to follow me on Instagram, just send me a message or something, or type in one of my pictures or something, and let me know who you are just let me know who you are off of YouTube, so I can then follow you back. But there's my Instagram right there. Make sure you follow me back. Again, let me know who you are so I can follow you. Let's connect more than just on YouTube. I like pictures. I'm always talking to Nicole. Give her credit. Again, if you're not following, give her credit. Definitely do so. Follow me on Instagram. And yes, let me put Twitter there too. I'm going to put my Twitter account on there as well if you want to follow me on Twitter. My Free Tip Fridays will be on Instagram though, I want to have people sharing the video. I want to have a bigger audience on Instagram, so then I can bring that over to YouTube. I feel like if a lot of YouTubers did Instagram or Twitter a lot more than what they normally do, it'd be so much bigger. And that's what I'm going to do. So my Twitter is the same thing, and I'm doing that right now. And my Twitter right there. All right, so make sure everybody you follow me. Again, if you were watching this live stream, give me a thumbs up. So I'm actually gonna cut it here now. It is almost 2 o'clock in Eastern time. Again, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Let me know who you are. I will follow you back. I will definitely interact. I'm not one of those like super stuck up people who don't respond back to anybody. I love having a conversation. Again, give me a thumbs up if you found this live stream helpful. We'll be doing something like this at least once every week or two. But again, I'll let you know again. I know I said I was going to do it today at 4, but I had some things going on around 4 o'clock today, so I figured I'd do it now. So I definitely will be doing so. I'm always interacting with people. Again, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be doing the Free Tip Fridays on Instagram within the next few weeks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Everybody have yourself a good day. Sean, thanks so much.